Good day. So here we have a spanking new bike. And you know what people like to do with new bikes? Steal them. So what I typically do is I take spray paint and I just destroy it because I don't care what a bike looks like. It's my bike. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not doing anything with it other than driving it. So I take spray paint and I spray stuff all over it so that it's really identifiable, and it makes it more likely that the thieves are going to go to the next place. However, if you don't want to do that, and a lot of people don't, you might want to get yourself a good lock, like the Kryptonite lock. Now, by the way, I wanted to get the Kryptonite has 3 or 4 different levels. This is their mid-level. I wanted to get the Kryptonite Evolution, which is the next step up, but it was out of stock and I didn't have the time to wait. So I ended up with this one, which is the Kryptolock. And you might ask, well, why did you end up with this? Well, I ended up with this because I really wanted the insurance. This is going to Vancouver, Canada. And yeah, bike theft is just such a thing there. So I'm buying this bike, and my daughter's going to buy the insurance on it for 3 years. It's going to cost about $30. Well worthwhile. Now, this lock cost about $70 with the $75, 73 I think actually, with this cable. You could buy it without this add-on cable for about $13 less, I think. Now, that was on Amazon, and that's in Canadian figures. So if you're in the States, take about 25% off. Right now, the dollar's a little screwed up. Okay, anyway, the point of this video is to explain how to install this lock and how to get that insurance. You need some documentation in advance before your bike gets stolen, so you're going to want to make sure that you've got it all worked out before it gets stolen. We'll also show you how to lock it up properly, because a lot of people just put it around a wheel, and that is just not a good idea. You need to put it up against something solid, and you need to hook it into the frame. I'll speed through this so you don't waste your time. So this is the key element. Basically, you put the strap around. In case you wonder why it's a strap, it's because not all bikes are round, at least the frames aren't round. So you put the strap around, and then you put the plastic mount in, and then you use the Allen key to screw it in. So let's do that. One of the things that you're going to need for a police report, should this get stolen, is the serial number. And in my case, that serial number is right there. So take a photograph of your serial number. A lot of times it's stamped on the bottom or in here, but in my case, it's right there. And I'm going to put the bike lock right over it. So that's the first thing you want to do, is get that number for your police report. So the first thing we have to do is figure out how much of this little rubber we need to keep. It's not very challenging. Put it on, wrap it around until it is about the right length, and then cut it off right there. So you don't have to do this, but I'm going to, because it says to in the instructions. And you don't need giant scissors like the ones I just used, but you can if you want. So you take this, you wrap it around, and before you sort of hold that down, you take this nylon strap and you put it through the inside, not the outside, but the inside. And then you pull that thing, get it to where you want it, somewhere like that, and then you pull it tight. And what we're going to do is put a screw through here that's going to pin this down and really tighten this up. In this little block is the screw, and that's the Allen key for it. And you can just turn it, and that will, well, you can't see, but trust me, it'll tighten it up. Okay, now you want to make sure that the open slot is facing up, and then you take the Allen key that it shipped with, and you put it on the Allen nut, of course, and that will turn this bolt, and it'll go into the slot that's right there. So let's just do that. We're going to put that on. Now I think I have this a little too high, but we're going to find out. If it is too high, I can just slide it down a bit. I can loosen it off and slide it down a bit. There we go. So that was a bit tight for a minute, but now it's okay. So I'm going to tighten this up, and then I'm going to keep turning this. So I'm going to tighten this up a little more in a minute, but I'm going to give it a little proof test to make sure it works. So here's the lock. And this slot has to go in. Yeah, see, it's too high, so I need to slide it down. Okay, I think that's enough. Now, let's pop that there. There it is. And then I can just pop it out. Easy peasy. Now what I can do is I can take my scissors and I can cut this off. Now you don't need, these are commercial grade scissors, you don't need those. But I can trim this off because it's just waste. There we go. Now, before you hop on your bike and try to go register this and for insurance, what you need to do, and this is a big deal because they won't honor it unless you have it, you need the numbers. So in case you're going to steal this bike from my kid, my numbers are right there. Actually, I'll hold it back far enough so you can't see it. So the numbers are embedded right on the key, and you need to have that. It is not optional. They will not pay a claim without those numbers. Okay, so I don't have an actual bike rack here to show you how to mount this properly, but I will show you with this lawnmower. You want to make sure that whatever it's bolted to, clipped into with this lock, that it is bolted down as well. Otherwise, the thieves can just take both of them. So yeah, not a big deal. They'll just cut the locks elsewhere. So when they've got lots of time, we're going to pretend that this is a bike rack that is bolted to the ground. That's your best bet. At very least, you want to make sure that it's bolted to something on the ground. Bolting it just, around the wheel or whatever, yeah, they're just going to pick your bike up and steal it. So that's pointless. There's a rust lock here so it doesn't get too rusty, right? And by the way, there's also numbers right there you're going to want to keep. Just make sure you've got it all for your warranty. Okay, put the lock in, twist, and it comes out. You want to get this through the frame and a wheel if you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it like this. There we go. Now, I paid an extra little bit of money for this cable. This is not going to stop a determined bike thief. What it's going to do is slow them down and annoy them. So if you have one of these, let's show you how to use it. There, something like that. Now it's unfortunate this cable's not a little bit longer because I'd like to get into both wheels, but I can't. So yeah, it's what it is. This cable isn't the most useful, and it's not going to stop bike thieves. It's just going to deter them and slow them down a little bit. They're going to come along with bolt cutters and clip through this. Now what you're really paying for with this bike lock is the U. Well, let's show you. So you can watch videos with this bar with people trying to cut through it because it's hardened steel. And it can be done, but it's very difficult. This is also interesting. This is a double lock, so it's hard to see in there, but there are two pieces of hardened steel that are locking this U in. And if you take a look, I'll just push this down. Don't know if you can see that. And when I turn the lock, yeah, that's not going to move anymore, right? On both sides. So if you're having trouble with it, you probably have it locked, and what you need to do is unlock it. There, just like that, nice sound. And pull the key out. So what you're going to need to make the Kryptonite lock insurance work is you're going to have to register it in advance. You're going to have the key numbers, which are right there in my case, same as yours. The lock number, which is there. You're going to need a detailed invoice. Mine came from Costco, not very detailed, just what it is. They're just going to have to tolerate it. You're going to need a police report, and to fill out a police report, they're going to want the serial number of your bike, like that one. So you're going to want that. And there's a couple of gotchas with this. The first gotcha is that they will only cover up to the deductible. That's the first issue. So if you have a $2,000 bike and a $500 deductible on your home insurance that covers bikes, they're only going to cover $500. So be it. That's fine. Second gotcha is you need an image of the bike. In other words, take a photo of the bike. A stock image will not do. You need a photo of your bike. And the last gotcha is, because they're not going to take your word for it, because there's a lot of fraud out there, they're going to want a picture of the broken lock, and they reserve the right to have you ship that lock in before they cover the insurance claim. Hey, we'd really appreciate it if you would click like, and subscribe's always appreciated, but comments also great. Please put comments, questions, whatever. If we don't get back to you, somebody else will. And if you ever want to get a hold of us directly, you can get a hold of us at www.urtech, that's www.urtech.ca. All right, thanks, and have a great day. Bye bye.